Hello, Scrapbookers. This is Megan, and I am back today with a new 6x8 pocket page layout for you. So for this one, I am upstairs in my bedroom in my little scrappy corner where it's easier for me to scrapbook when I was first recovering from my hysterectomy. So I did record a couple of videos up there, and I thought I would share them with you. So here I'm just kind of organizing my supplies and trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to do with this pocket page. So this one is a photo of Jonas at the eye doctor. If you don't know, he has spina bifida, and he has a shunt in his head that was placed there when he was about 2 weeks old. And that's because he also has hydrocephalus. And so now that he's getting older and becoming a teenager, I mean, he's been a teenager for a while, but his doctors want to make sure that we're keeping an eye on his eye pressure. Haha, funny pun there, right? Because he has never had a shunt revision, which is totally unheard of. It's kind of crazy. Like Jonas he's had the best luck ever, or whatever you want to call it. He's a very blessed kid. He has only had, I think, 4 surgeries, maybe 5. I think 5 total surgeries in his whole life, whereas a lot of kids that have spina bifida have a lot more surgeries. And a shunt replacement for the hydrocephalus, if you don't know what hydrocephalus is, it is basically water on the brain. So it's natural to have water on your brain, but with kids that have spinal problems and things like that, your body doesn't drain the water off as well. And I'm not really sure because I'm not a doctor, but I think it's because his spine isn't formed all the way. And so his spinal fluid and everything, it's all kind of like it doesn't work perfectly. That's my understanding. I could be totally wrong. If you're a nurse and you know better than me, please tell me. Doctors use a lot of big words, and it's kind of like, I never feel like, I don't know. Sometimes I don't understand things, but anyway, long story short, he has a shunt and he's never had a revision. Lots of kids usually need shunt revisions, multiple times. So the fact that he's never had one, they just want to make sure that it's not causing his brain or extra water on his brain, because we kind of figure that it's not working at this point, that his body has just learned to drain the water off of the brain on its own. And so he doesn't really need the shunt. He's never had any problems or anything though. And so they haven't replaced it. And the doctors also don't want to take it out because that's an unnecessary surgery. And of course, they don't want to do surgery unless they absolutely have to. So they are going to send us to the eye doctor more regularly now. This was his first dilation, and the doctor, it took so long. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. It took like 2 or 3 hours for this appointment, and I was not expecting that. I was expecting maybe an hour at the most. But it was like the longest appointment, and the doctor was very concerned because it did look like there was some swelling behind, in his nerves and everything. And so he sent all of that information to Jonas's neurologist. He has a neurologist in Boise, Idaho, and he sent all of that information to them. They said they wanted to see him again and do another dilation in 6 months' time, just to make sure that it wasn't getting worse, because this was his first dilation. This is his baseline now. They wanted to make sure that it wasn't getting worse, or maybe it was getting better and it was just an off day or something, So he sent that paper or the report over to the neurologist. We set an appointment, I think, for 6 months later. This is, I believe, June possibly July. I can't remember. I think it's actually June 1st. And of 2021. And so then we took him back again in December, I believe, and everything was the same, and it didn't look like this doctor was concerned because he's not used to seeing stuff like this. He doesn't see kids that have issues like this. And so because of that, he was worried, but the neurologist wasn't worried because the neurologist sees a lot worse cases than this. So we actually went and saw the neurologist this year, 2022 in May. And he also got his eyes dilated and saw a child specialist over there in Boise that works with kids that have a lot of disabilities. And he was not at all worried about Jonas's eye pressure. He said it's actually pretty good. And so the fact that this other doctor was really worried and frustrated with the neurologist because the neurologist hadn't communicated with him at all throughout that 6 months. And so this doctor was like freaking out, the one that we see in our city. And, but the neurologist was like, it's not that big of a deal. It's fine. So I thought that that was kind of funny, that the specialty, vision guy was like, yeah, it's not that big of a deal. So that was good news. We were very happy about that. And here you can see I'm doing journaling on this card, and the other card is just kind of a filler card. Thank you so much for watching today. A lot of what I used was from my stash. I hope you enjoyed this. Bye.